Hey, what's going on, guys? This is going to be a 5-star Malevolence battle up against a completely maxed Negotiator that starts Ahsoka instead of 5s. The 5s battles are way easier, but this is when it starts Ahsoka. As you can see, it's a Relic 7 Ahsoka, Relic 7 Anakin, Relic 7 GK, and Relic 5 Bosk. This is probably the hardest fleet to go against in my personal shard. But I mean, Malevolence is just broken as heck. So very strong ship. This one is probably one of the best case scenarios. Basically, you want to keep Anakin in check the whole time. As you can see here, all 3 live, and I have the ability to put Bosk on lockdown. I like cleansing tanks in this point, so here I cleanse Sunfac, and then I straight try to take out Bosk in the beginning. Basic attacks from Hyena Bomber cleanse allies, so you want to basic with him when you can. You don't always have to use his special. On all the other battles, you'll see me use his special first. The reason why I used his basic attack against Bosk was because I had Anakin stunned and was able to take out Bosk as soon as possible. Things to note, you'll see in my other battles, I have a lot worst case scenarios. But things to note is the stacks of overcharge are massive. You don't always have to use specials because basics grant a stack of overcharge, and each stack of overcharge grants 10 or 20% offense and 20% defense stacking. So, and that's why mass attacks are huge, because everyone assists and every single ship gets a stack of overcharge. So yeah, anyways, I go over I battle the same fleet I think 4 more times, possibly 5, but each battle is unique, and I fast forward on some, I skip to the end on some, so not all are full battles, but just want to give you guys a general overview, as that last reinforcement doesn't matter. You rarely ever call it. Just trying to issue a point here. This scenario, I believe my Vulture Droid dies. Yeah, here we go. This is going to happen most of the time. In this case, Bosk already has taunt. I like cleansing Sunfac in this case because he had buff immunity. When he has buff immunity, he can't taunt, obviously. And so at this point, you want to spread Buzz Droids, and then you want to see if you can focus Anakin at some point. But basic the other tank, and then once you have the ability, you want to put Buzz Droids on that other tank. And the first reinforcement you bring in is Spy. You have 50-50 chance on hitting Anakin and Ahsoka, because they are the only 2 people not taunting. If you hit Anakin, it's game over. So as you'll see here, I'm gonna fast forward because once Anakin's out, it's pretty straightforward. But if it hits Ahsoka, you still want to completely annihilate her with Spy Special. My Spy is Relic 5 for those curious. Sunfac Relic 3, the rest pilots. There's no pilots. My Soldier is Gear 12, Geo Soldier. So yeah, you'll see in these other scenarios, things don't go as smooth. You'll see where the Force Taunt goes on Ahsoka, and then you have to play around it. Basically, the kill order is you gotta, of course, take out Anakin first, Ahsoka second. Those are your highest 2 priorities. Then the other reinforcement doesn't really matter. The very last battle, I believe I just used Spy reinforcement and don't even bother doing anything else. But this case, we'll see what happens. Buff immunity landed on Sunfac, so you already know you're going to want to cleanse him. Your Vulture Droid died, which is okay. Another one replaces it. Bosk taunts, this is the usual. You want to stun him. He dodged, so this is extra worst case scenario. You still want to put Buzz Droids on Anakin because it eats away at his health. It's okay that there's now counterattacks. No worries. You're going to want to go for the non-counterattack tank. Put Buzz Droids on him. just basic, because he already has Buzz Droids, Spy, and hope it goes on Anakin. And it does, and annihilate him. If you do want to see when the Force Taunt doesn't go on Anakin, it goes on Ahsoka. It is later. You'll see that eventually. That actually, it's fine if it hits Ahsoka, because then Ahsoka just instantly dies. But either or, you just keep going for it. Nothing too special. You go for a stun if you can on Bosk, because then he doesn't counter. And then you just go from there. But keeping him stun locked is good. Of course, Ahsoka's second highest priority in this. They already have that. But yeah, this matchup isn't as difficult as people might think. You don't really need a fifth reinforcement, or not fifth reinforcement, a third reinforcement. You don't need 7-star Malevolence. This is, again, a 5-star, so I don't have the final abilities. And this is versus a completely maxed. I mean, I guess I guess Bosk at Relic 5 isn't maxed, but it's pretty dang near maxed. So, again, basics are not the worst thing in the world. If you don't have abilities up, that's okay. Basics will help you survive longer, because doing a basic grants you 20% defense as well as 20% offense. So this whole time, we're just kind of stalling until we can get to his special. Stun the opponent capital ship, kill Bosk, and then just pretty much take out the rest. You don't need the last reinforcement. Also, that cleanse ability, his first special, also grants 20% TM to every single ship that you have. It cleanses the target ship and also grants everybody 20% turn meter, which is actually pretty huge. Of course, if there are days, you're not going to get that TM. But let's see. Yeah, so I go into this battle with no reinforcement as a third slot. And we'll see what happens on this one. So again, Vulture Droid is dead. No buff immunity on Sunfac. So I'm going to cleanse my Hyena Bomber. Put Vulture Droids on everybody. And then we go for a stun on Bosk. And we got it. The cleanse from Ahsoka, which is okay. It happens every time. Literally, this is every single time, because the AI plays it every single time the exact same way. Unless they don't have Clone Sergeant in there, but pretty much everyone does. And if they don't, that's still fine. It's not going to be hard. You just go after Bosk and then force a taunt. Again, the force taunt went on Anakin, which is perfectly okay. I'm not going to complain on going on that. So yeah, I'm going to speed this up, because the one with the 1 or 2, I don't remember how many there were, of a force taunt going on Ahsoka. It's not the end of the world. You can still play around it. Not every match is exactly the same. You have to play accordingly, but make sure you can basic as much as possible with certain character or certain ships to cleanse. So like Hyena Bomber can cleanse allies. You want to cleanse your tanks so they survive longer with the first special. Again, of course, take out Anakin first, Ahsoka second. Those are the highest 2 priorities. And rinse and repeat. If there's another tank, of course, try to avoid Bosk, because he's not going to die unless he has buff immunity, and that only happens when you have Vulture Droid survive the first onslaught. And then pretty much the only time he dies after that is with Malevolence's special. So again, here we go, going in for it again. And it auto-filled Millennium Falcon into that final spot. I didn't even notice because I didn't use it. But here's a good case scenario. We have no debuffs on any of my ships at this point. We have Volter Droid survive. We got buff immunity. We're going to cleanse a tank. We go for Hyena Bomber. And then this time, we're going to show you how to put all of the Volter Droids on, or Buzz Droids on everybody, as well as continuing to go for Bosk here. So this procs Anakin. He goes again. Procking Anakin actually is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it's actually a good thing because then he ends up killing himself more and more. And then as you see here, I will totally go for her, but she's gonna live. And watch what happens to Anakin. So we go after him because Hyena Bomber can ignore taunt. He doesn't have the revive anymore. Then I hit him with an AoE, and he still has a Buzz Droid on him, which kills him. Yeah, and something to always watch out for and look for are opportunities you get with Hyena Bomber. Hyena Bomber being able to ignore taunts are huge, and it really allows you to take out Anakin sooner than you might think, because he could be hiding behind taunts. But being able to focus fire on Anakin, especially when Anakin has Buzz Droids on him, everybody else will assist. Yep, and if you do have any questions, feel free to ask me either in the comment section or you can ask in my Discord. I'm actually quite a big fan of Fleet. Most people are not, but I've invested pretty heavily in Fleet, especially my Sith Fleet. Still holding out that they get a time to shine eventually. But so as we wrap up this battle and then go into the last Fleet Arena battle of this video, I do consistently beat this team. It provides less banners for GAC purposes compared to the 5 starting. But you can definitely win with I'd say 19 out of 20% win rate. One in a very short, I would even go 49 out of 50 times you'll win this. It's only when you get a lot of dodges or just terrible RNG when you lose, but it's extremely consistent. This same strategy of cleansing a tank, putting Buzz Droids on early, and then focus firing on Anakin. Even when Ahsoka is targeted on the Force Taunt from Spy, it's still easy to go through. You just burn her down, and Anakin will keep on proccing his extra turns and kill himself with the Buzz Droids, which is totally good by me. I mean, most of the time during these matches, he does more damage to himself than you inflict on him. Also, most of the time in general, he will get the Force Taunt just because he's typically lower than Ahsoka every single time. And the Force Taunt, most of the time, from my experience, goes to the lowest health enemy. So I do remember this battle. I don't use very many resources on purpose just to illustrate how dominant this this fleet is. And yeah, see, look, Anakin killed himself there. And I'll just let this video play out at 2x speed, but as you'll notice, it may seem pretty sketch when you barely have any ships left, but just remember that anytime you use a special ability besides your reinforcement, you get a Volter Droid. So it's basically like you get to use a special ability, plus you also call in a reinforcement. So it's basically just make sure you try to keep your main ships alive, like your Geos and your Hyena Bomber, as much as possible. And it doesn't matter whatsoever if your AI Volter Droids die. That's actually a good thing because you get a lot of turn meter and then you can replace it with more. So yeah, I'll just let this video play out. Thank you all for watching, and I appreciate it. Hope this helped. Malevolence is insanely strong. So thanks again for watching.